Hello guys, and welcome back to another video on my Digital Nomad channel. Today I really wanted to jump into why I even chose Spain as my next location to live as a digital nomad, because obviously the world is full of different places and some locations are better than others for digital nomads. Some are massive digital nomad hubs, and Barcelona I would say is probably on the upcoming list for digital nomads because there are plenty there and there are plenty of expats who live there right now. But in terms of a digital nomad scene, I definitely think, especially with the new digital nomad visa coming out, I think you're about to really see Barcelona grow as a digital nomad hub. And so I really want to delve into why I specifically think that Barcelona is just amazing and why I think it's such a great place to live as a digital nomad and just live in general. So even if you're not a digital nomad and you're looking to relocate into Spain as an employee, these are all the reasons why I think it is just the best. So number one, let's talk about location. Location of Spain, obviously you are more southern part of Europe. You are close touching to Africa. So you would definitely get loads of sunshine. Like even when we were in there in December, in the sunny days, it could be cold, but with the sun, it still felt so nice outside. And it just gives you that like little bit of life. Like I don't mind so much if it's cold, if the sun is shining. When it's cold and it's gray and cloudy all the time, that's when I start to really feel seasonal depression. Now, do not get me wrong, I prefer the warmth over the cold, but the sunshine and the Spanish sun just feels so good, especially even in the fall. Like we were able to sit outside in tank tops and jeans, having like a beer outside of a restaurant and just enjoying the warmth of the sun on your skin. So the location really is great and the weather is just amazing. Obviously Barcelona is on the coast, so you do have the beaches right there. Although I'm not a really big fan of actual Barcelona city beaches because they are cram-packed and you're also next to a port. So, you know, to each their own. I grew up from a beach town, so I definitely feel like I'm a bit pickier with my beaches, but it doesn't say I won't go. I will go, but anywhere up north like Costa Brava, literally love Sitges in Spain. Like all of it is beautiful and it's not that far from Barcelona. Some of them you can hop on the train and get right down for the day to the beach, and some of them like Costa Brava, rent a car and go drive up and enjoy the beautiful like coastline, clear water. Just gorgeous. So location wise, Spain in general, amazing. And then Barcelona is just that best of both worlds. You have the city life, you have lots of going on, you have events, you have social stuff, and then you also have the beaches and the water and the ocean. So it's just like the best of both worlds for me. And that is definitely my location, checks the box for me in terms of where I'd want to live in Europe. Number two, kind of going off location, is the fact that Barcelona is a massive hub for travel. So you've access to so many different cities easily and cheap because Barcelona is a big hub in Europe. You can either fly, you can take a bus, you can take the train. There is easy access to so many places, and it's definitely not very expensive if you do it well when you're traveling. As an American, even traveling within America is extremely expensive. So being able to fly or take a bus or a train for really cheap in Barcelona to all the amazing different countries in Europe was a big plus for me because I want to be able to travel and see as much of Europe as I can while I am living there. So having that hub base of Barcelona and also having easy access back to America, there are direct flights right from Barcelona to New York, so it makes my life definitely a lot easier. So that is a big kicker for me as well, just the access to different places in Europe. Also access to Africa. Like there's just a lot that you can fly from Barcelona as a hub and make your traveling that much easier. Now, number three, one of my favorite things is the food, the wine, the beer. Like all of the cuisines in Barcelona are amazing. Obviously, there are so many local, good, mouth-watering, like delicious, that I still dream of Spanish local food places in Barcelona. Tapas are, I could eat tapas all day long. Like literally I am an appetizer girl, so like I don't even need a full meal. I would rather sit at a table full of like 20 different small plates for me to all pick on than have like one dish. So tapas is like a dream come true. I really love them and we get them literally multiple times a week, pretty much anytime we go out. So you have access to delicious Spanish food. In addition to that, since it is a big major city, you have access to a lot of other good international cuisines that are just so freaking good. Like you can get delicious pizza, you can get delicious Asian food, Japanese, Chinese, we can get Mexican. Oh, the Mexican there is really good. Like Korean, there is just a bit of everything. Obviously, you have other European dishes in there as well, good Mediterranean food. So you have access to loads of different delicious food at your fingertips, and it ranges. You can go super lavish and you could have an expensive, amazing meal, and you could also have amazing food for relatively cheap. So there is a great range, and honestly, my mouth is just watering thinking about this food right now. I cannot wait to go back. I cannot wait to eat the food. But having all access to that food is absolutely incredible. And like I said, the mix of cuisines, the delicious Spanish food and all the tapas. And then in addition to that, the Spanish wine. Like, I'm sorry, I'm from America and you can't get a good glass of wine out at a bar or restaurant for less than $10. And it's not even good half the time. It is like the cheapy cheap wine. Whereas like in Spain, you can actually get good wine for €5 a glass. And it is delicious. And so you've access to delicious Spanish wine, you've access to delicious Spanish cava, and you've access to delicious Spanish beer, all for insanely cheap on American standards. Like the cost of a glass of wine, cava, or beer is definitely very inexpensive compared to the crazy markups that are America. So just the access to all that good food and good drinks makes life amazing. And I'm such a foodie. Like I really am a foodie. When I'm bored, I want to do something. Half times I just want to go to a different restaurant and try different foods. I love to cook. So for me, that was a really big plus. And then number 4, like I feel like each one's kind of going into the next one, which is working out in my favor. But number 4 is the lifestyle. So what I mean by how this goes into the food part of it is after 5 o'clock in Spain, if you go walk around like local neighborhoods everywhere, people are out and about. People are sitting outside of cafes, having a beer, having a glass of wine, having tapas, having a coffee with their friends, with their family. Places are always full of people living life and enjoying themselves. And I feel like the Spanish do that really well. Like they live life to live. And I love that about them. They do not live life just to work their lives away. Because if you think about it, like in American culture, we literally grow up and we're told like get a job and work really hard. And that working really hard part is working a 9 to 5, which normally is like a 9 to 6 and sometimes like a 9 to 9 depending on what industry you're in. And you're working 60 plus hours a week and you're burnt out. So by the time you get off of work late at night, you have time to maybe hit the gym, you have time to make some food, go to sleep, wake up and do it all again. And the weekends you have like 2 days to rest, and you might have plans, you might go out, you might let off steam, whatever it might be, and your weeks just tumble. And in Spain, they definitely have a Spanish way of life that I just enjoy. Things are a bit slower there, I would say, in terms of how fast they get done, but you know what? They're enjoying themselves. And so they're gonna have a 2-hour lunch, and that's okay during work. It's okay to like relax and just enjoy life, and then after work, like go be social, go live. And so they definitely have a very good feel, like the energy in the streets. Like when you walk around, you just feel that liveliness happening. It doesn't matter if it's cold outside, they will be outside sitting out of that cafe or that restaurant with the heater next to them, enjoying their friends and family. And I just absolutely love that about it. And in conjunction with just like the Spanish lifestyle, there are always so many events going on in Barcelona. There is something for everyone. There are different clubs, whether it's sports, whether it's rollerblading, whether it's art, pottery, anything. There are so many things you can attend, you can become a part of. There are different communities. And so that liveliness and that social aspect is extremely important to me. I love being social and I love meeting people and keeping my life active. And so that was just a really amazing part of it that kind of pushed me more towards Barcelona, I would say, than anywhere else, because it just had that social culture about it, which I really love. And like I said, it's super important to me. And number 5, you know, they really are all rolling in together. Maybe there's just one giant plus, but number 5 is the expat community. So there is a really big expat community in Barcelona, And I know I spoke to some people who, when I was originally going to Barcelona, were talking to me about their experience when they tried it out for a place to live, and they said they found it really hard meeting people. And I don't know if I was just lucky or if I just met good people at good times, but I had such an easy time meeting really, really cool people in Barcelona who I know will be my friends as soon as I get back, and we still talk all the time while I've been away, filling out my paperwork for the visa. And so I've met really a great community, and there are so many good networking events, like I said earlier, for different activities. There's even like content creator networking events, there's business networking events. The co-working spaces have a really big social aspect to them. They have a lot going on, so you can join that and you can meet people and you can kind of create your family away from home. And I think it's amazing having local friends, and I absolutely love the Spanish people, but I do think in terms of relating wise, it's easier to relate to people who kind of understand that living international lifestyle. And so meeting other digital nomads or other expats, it definitely makes it easier to find people to relate to and to find that group of friends who understand the different things that you're going through, which aren't normal really to anyone else. So having that community was really impactful for me, and I think it really does. It makes or breaks your time somewhere. I just think community is a really big thing, especially when you're living far away from home and you're living a completely different lifestyle from your friends and your family who don't really understand it. Having those people to turn to and relate to and build like lifelong friendships with is just extremely important. So that was something that I really enjoyed finding really quickly in Barcelona, and I'm super excited to expand on that farther and just keep meeting people and keep networking, because I think there is such a cool diversity of people in Barcelona to learn from and be friends with. So I cannot wait on that front. And with all of those networking events and stuff, like I said, there is tons of co-working spaces and there's tons of cafes to work at. So you don't have to be a hobbit in your little home all the time. You can go out and be social and work if you really love that kind of officey, creative work environment. There's definitely loads of places for you to be able to do that in Barcelona. So they really do have a great access for remote workers to be able to create just a great lifestyle there. And last but not least is the cost of living. I know this is definitely controversial for a lot of people, and I do get both sides of it, truly. Coming from someone who lives in America where things are probably 3 to 4 times the cost of what they are in Spain, a lot of the times what you're buying isn't even better for you. The food in Spain, like the actual groceries and the meats and everything, you don't have to worry about those being toxic and killing you. And you don't have to worry about, oh, I have to buy like injectable free meat, because it just is all injectable free. Whereas in America, like you have to pay so much more to actually eat healthy food and have access to good things. Even for example, like deodorant in America is like $5 to $7 a can or a roller. And in Spain, it's $2. It's just like the cost of things in America, I personally think, are just completely astronomical. And I just want to be able to have a more abundant life when I'm able to do based on an actual normal cost of living versus some of the inflation costs in America, which I think just personally are crazy right now. So you can have access to good, natural, delicious food, and you could have access to normal priced apartments and houses and live just a more abundant, like fun lifestyle than you would have to in America. Like for example, me and my boyfriend would go out all the time for tapas and beer during the week, and we never really worried about the cost of it because we weren't spending more than like 15 euros for each of us to have a drink or two and a plate of tapas. Whereas in America, in New Jersey, I can't go out for 2 glasses of wine and an appetizer for 15 euros. My glass of wine would be 15 euros. So it's just like the comparison between the two. So it's just, there is some differences between how you can live and the things you can do. And so for me, just having my money go that much farther was a huge, huge plus in my eyes. And I get to live in a city near the beach for pretty much half of what it would cost me to live in America. So those are pretty much my top reasons for why I think Barcelona is just incredible and why we are choosing to move there for the next year or 2 years or 3 years, depending on how much we choose. And so I just think Barcelona is an incredible city for people to live in. I think Spain's an incredible country for people to live in. And so I wanted to make a video just kind of explain that to you guys all and give you my honest opinion and insight into why we're choosing to go there, to see if maybe it could influence you. You never know. And if you end up in Barcelona, please send me a message because I'd love to meet up with anyone who ends up there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my reasonings for why I'm moving to Spain. If there's others that I missed that you have have for reasons why you've loved Spain, or maybe even reasons why you didn't. Leave them in the comments because I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. And if you don't want to miss any other videos on this channel, especially about me moving to Barcelona, picking out the apartment, getting everything sorted, and then continuing daily life in Barcelona, and also some really cool travels this year, and just some tips about digital nomad life, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and don't miss out on any upcoming videos, and join this community, which I'm hoping to just grow this year because it just means so much to me and I love chatting with you guys. So also, if you have any questions, send me a DM on Instagram. I do not mind answering any of them, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye.